room, but I wanted everybody to set up, so make sure you have a block. If you have a block, if you don't have a block, a blanket, a pillow, anything will work, but we're gonna set up in supported shoulder stands. So take the block or the blanket or the pillow or whatever you have available, put it underneath your butt and lift your legs up to the sky. Okay. So that's how we're starting practice today. And I'd love it if you could put both hands on your heart, right? So just soften in to that. I'm gonna mute everybody. And just connect into your breath. Okay. So we're really gonna spend a couple of minutes here, a little bit of a restorative beginning to our practice. Because today's theme is about compassion. And compassion is two ways. So what inspired me is I have a friend of mine who's going through an extraordinarily difficult time. So I'm thinking about this time as COVID plus, right? We have COVID, that's the underlying stress, and then we have whatever else is on top of COVID, which would be the normal stresses or the results, indirect results of COVID. So this friend of mine is going through, I would say, COVID plus 150. So like really intensely difficult, challenging time. And sorry, I accepted, where'd she go? That's so weird. Maybe she'll try it again. So I was inspired. I found this poem that I'd heard a long time ago, and I sent it to her, and it became my inspiration for this week for my classes. So I'm going to read you that poem. So again, stay here in your supported shoulder stand. So compassion is twofold because it starts with compassion for ourselves, and then it leads for passion to passion, or compassion for others. There she is. Sorry about that. Distracting having to let people in. So this poem inspired me from a compassion for my friend. And then I started to go a little deeper into this compassion that we are looking for in ourselves. So for late attendees, we're starting in supported shoulder stands. So maybe a block or a blanket or a bolster underneath your butt, legs up to the air, hands on your heart, right? So even that just soft touch of your hand to your heart can be seen as a compassionate gesture for yourself. So here's the poem. There is a brokenness out of which comes the unbroken, a shatteredness out of which blooms the unshatterable. There is a sorrow beyond all grief which leads to joy, and a fragility out of whose depths emerge strength. There is a hollow space too vast for words, through which we pass with each loss, out of whose darkness we are sanctioned into being. There is a cry deeper than all sound, whose serrated edges cut the heart as we break open to the place inside that is unbreakable and whole. So just take a few breaths here. And just remember that out of the brokenness comes the unbroken. And out of the sorrow and fragility emerges strength. And out of darkness, we are sanctioned into being. And with that cry deeper than all sound, whose serrated edges cut the heart as we break open to a place inside that is unbreakable and whole. 2 more breaths here. And then you're going to slowly lower the legs down, lift off of your block, and set your feet to the floor. And let's explore our bridge pose for a moment. So ground into the feet and lift the hips. So if our true theme today is compassion, compassion for someone in your life who really desperately needs it, we also have to think about that compassion in terms of ourselves. And we so often feel like we're coming up short, right? We feel like we're not doing everything we can do, or we're not perfect, or we're not executing life flawlessly. We become so hard on ourselves that we lose that compassion for ourselves, and then we sometimes lose the ability to give it to others. So slide your shoulders out, one on either side, lower the hips. Draw your knees into your chest. Just give yourself a hug. And maybe circling the knees both ways, back and forth. Think about this practice as love that you're giving yourself today. That compassion, you can share it with someone else. And then we're going to rock back and forth a few times. So rock it up, rock and roll a little bit. Massaging out the whole spine. And then cross at the ankles and come on to your hands and knees. And we'll explore a little bit what's going on here. So it can be side to side. I sometimes like to do circles in my cat-cow, so it's not just a linear arch and round. It's what does my body need today? What do I need to cultivate compassion? So they call it the alchemy of self-compassion. So how are we? It's easy to say, be compassionate, but how do we do that? Well, the alchemy of self-compassion is where we actually go to the place of pain. So where you go to that place where you feel that ouch, that pain, that difficulty, that judgment, that, ooh, there's where I feel like I'm not enough, I'm not worth it. Whatever that version of the opposite of compassion is for you. So let's come to neutral spine. So first we have to touch it. We have to feel it. We have to break open like the poem, right? Right arm forward, left leg back. Just stay here for a moment. So let your multifidi fire up. Let the work happen. We're going to move maybe a little slower today, maybe a little deeper today. Right? We have to go to those places, that alchemy of self-compassion. Bend the elbow, bend the knee, curl it all in round. That's an exhale. Inhale, we're going to get nice and long. And exhale, round. So when you feel that pain, that ouch, that touch, there's a natural tenderness that occurs. It's just like putting that hand on your heart. There's this tenderness that occurs. Good. 2 more. Inhale, nice and slow. Exhale, curl and round. And inhale, nice and slow, long. Exhale, we're going to curl and round. Good. Next time we get long, we're going to set the right hand down. Let the left knee come to the outside of the left arm. So maybe it touches, maybe it doesn't. Inhale, we'll bring it back. Exhale, we're going to bend the knee, bring it all the way out to the side here. Good. 1 more. Inhale it back. Exhale, knee out to the outside of the left arm and just set the foot gently there. Good. An opportunity to go deeper, this alchemy of compassion. So you'll bend the knee and maybe you'll straighten it. And you're just looking to connect with tenderness to that tightness in the body, to that pain I hesitate to use the word pain in the body. So maybe it's tightness, it's stress, it's tension. If you feel pain, you really want to give tenderness there. Okay. Think about what that version of putting your hand on your heart would be, wherever you might be feeling that pain. Couple more breaths here. So first we have to feel the suffering before we can cultivate the tenderness. And then we can give it out. We can extend it and offer it to others, to other people in our lives who are suffering intensely right now. Good. Last time, we're going to maybe straighten it and then bend. And we're going to take this left leg. We're going to float it back behind us long, but let's plant the foot down. So we're coming into that side plank version that we sometimes do. Choice here to flip the leg out, the right leg out like a kickstand. Left arm's going to reach up to the sky. Let's float that left arm over the ear. So get long here. Maybe look up to the sky, but be tender. Think about compassion in the neck. So if it feels better to look down, that's okay. That arm over. Good. Belly's going to join. We're going to bring the hands to the hips. Come on up. The left leg's long, and we're going to float down the left leg with the left arm and let the right arm reach up. So now we're getting this side. So first we have to feel it, and we know this from the mat. This is what we do on the mat, right? We come on the mat and we explore where do we need to give compassion to ourselves and our bodies. We're actually quite good at that. Listening to the body, stepping back, softening when we need to, all of those things. Just a little less good at that off the mat sometimes. So come back onto your hands and knees. So left arm's going to reach forward this time, right leg's going to reach back. First, we take that moment, that firing up to happen. We have to feel that stability. And then slowly bend the elbow, bend the knee, and curl and round. Inhale, we're going to get long. Exhale, we're going to draw the belly in and round. Again, inhale, nice and long. Exhale, squeeze it in. Again, inhale, lengthen, flex the foot, reach the fingers forward. Exhale, we're going to round. Last one, inhale. And exhale. So right leg comes behind, left hand comes down, right knee bends. A couple of times we're going to bring that right knee towards the right arm. Inhale, and then exhale it back. And then inhale, bend the knee, bring it out towards the arm, and bring it back. So sometimes we really do have to go deep, touch the source of the pain, the source of the insecurity, the judgment, the feeling like you're not enough. We have to go deeply there before we can experience the tenderness. Next time, step the right foot to the outer edge of your mat and do your thing, right? So bending and straightening, circling, whatever you need to do. And then if you identify a place of struggle, of tension, of tightness, of pain, think about what can I do like that hand to my heart version for that part of my body. What is that? Maybe it's just a conversation I have with myself in the mind. You are enough. I am enough. Good. A couple more breaths here, just taking our time today. Cultivating this alchemy of self-compassion. And then bend into the knee. We'll float the right leg out. So we're going to come into that side plank version. So maybe the leg stays straight. Maybe you want to flip it behind like a kickstand. Right arm might come over the ear. Think about your neck. maybe down, maybe up, just whatever feels good. Pressing into that right foot, getting nice and long. And then the hands are going to come up to the hips. We'll press into the right foot. Right arm comes down the right leg, left arm up and over. Let's get into that other side now. So one of the most compassionate things we can do on the mat is always to think about both sides, trying to create equanimity in the body. It's not naturally there. There's always going to be differences, but giving both sides equal chance. Windmill the hands and the knees down. Come back to your hands and knees. Arch your spine as you inhale, and then as you exhale, we're going to curl round, curl the toes under, find downward dog. As you embark on this first downward dog today, again, approach it from a place of compassion. So first we have to acknowledge, like, ooh, my calves are really tight today. That means my heels may not come to the mat as they come down as far as they usually do. Okay, I'm touching that. And with that connection, that touch, I can all of a sudden soften and be more tender. And then once I'm tender with myself, I have that tenderness for others. As you inhale, let's roll forward to our high plank. We're going to hold high plank for 5 full breaths. So if you need to drop your knees, all good. Go ahead and do that. So inhale and exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. Inhale. Exhale for 3. Inhale. Exhale for 4. And last one. Inhale. Exhale for 5. We're going to lower to the mat. If you need your knees, take them. If not, lower all the way down in one line. Inhale, hands down, lift the chest, little baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Let's come into baby cobra again. Inhale, just soften into the resistance, right? Tenderness is how we cultivate compassion. Just soften in, just accept. Exhale, lower. Good, third time we'll come up higher, so press into the hands if you want to. Lift the chest a little more. If you're happy in your low cobra, that's okay too. And we'll make our way back to downward dog. So curl the toes, bend the knees, lift the hips, float your way back. And let's walk the feet towards the hands. So make your way, feet to hands, top of the mat. And bend the knees a little bit as we roll up. So softly rolling up, one vertebra at a time. So we find our way up to standing. Hands to the heart, close your eyes, set your intention. Remember, perhaps there's somebody in your life who is suffering immensely right now. Like COVID plus 150. Perhaps you can share with them this compassion that you're cultivating in yourself. As you inhale, open your eyes, bring your arms around and up. Exhale, we're going to forward fold. Knees can bend, of course. Inhale, we're going to find our flat back, so look forward. Exhale, knees are going to bend, step to your high plank. Let's just hold it for one breath now. So inhale, lifting those hips a little bit. And then exhale, chaturanga, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale brings you to a high cobra or upward dog if you want those knees lifted. Exhale rolls you back, downward dog. Let's take 5 breaths here. So in the stillness, sometimes that's when we can really touch those moments or those places that we hold that pain in ourselves, right? That's why meditation is so hard, because we have to sit still And those things come up. It's difficult to avoid them when we're in stillness. Much easier when we're moving. Inhale, come high on your toes. Exhale, knees are gonna bend, hop, step, or float the feet to the hands. Inhale, we'll find a flat back here. Exhale, we're gonna forward fold, head hang. Good job, guys. Inhale, bring your arms all the way around and up. Palms are gonna touch. And exhale, hands to the heart. Again, Surya Namaskar A. So inhale, arms around and up. Exhale, we're gonna forward fold, head goes first. Good. Inhale, flat back, so we'll lengthen here. Exhale is gonna move us through plank to chaturanga. So stepping back, lowering down, skip what you need to. Nice barbell. Inhale, high cobra. Exhale it back, downward dog. Nice, Ruthie. 5 breaths here again. In the stillness, that's where the work really happens, where we find this opportunity to practice. Practice with compassion. In that poem, I think my favorite line is, there is a brokenness out of which comes the unbroken. We're all broken. We all have things that we're working on. Inhale, high on the toes. Exhale, bend your knees, hop, step, or float the feet to the hands. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sit into Utkatasana now. So find your chair. Lift the chest, so think about what's happening in that middle back, the thoracic spine, and then the navel draws in. And then we sit back into those heels a little bit more. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, we'll flow through plank to chaturanga. Remember, part of this practice is skipping what you need to skip. That's where the tenderness comes in. You notice, you acknowledge the pain, and then you immediately soften into the tenderness. Right leg's gonna lift, inhale. Exhale, bend to the knee and draw it toward your nose. So you're gonna round through and step the foot in between your hands, drop your back feet. Flatten the back foot. Inhale, reach the arms up. Shoulders soften, right knee bends forward. Hands will come to the heart. Let's twist now. So left elbow comes outside the right knee, and we're twisting. As we twist, the belly's strong, so we're protecting the spine as we cultivate flexibility in it. 2 more breaths here. And then exhale, look down. We're gonna walk the hands diagonally away from that front foot. Maybe even tent into the fingers. You can soften into the elbows. Press down into your right foot still. Good. Lengthening out through the right side body. Walk the hands back. Lift your back knee as you curl the toes under and come to a plank. Inhale. Exhale, lowers you down, chaturanga. Inhale, lifts you through a high cobra. Exhale, rolls you back down to downward dog. Left leg lifts now. Inhale. Exhale, that knee is going to come round towards your nose. Shift forward. Step the left foot in between your hands. Drop your back knee. Softening into the left knee. Letting the arms reach up. Let's find our Anjaneyasana. Second side. And then bring those hands to the heart and we'll twist. So right elbow outside left knee, but belly is drawing in as you twist. So we're looking to release and cultivate tenderness and compassion, but we want to protect our bodies as we do that. So that engagement of the abdominals is that tenderness piece. It's protecting the spine as it finds more space. Exhale, set the hands down. Let's walk them away from the left foot. Tense out through the fingers. Feel free to bend into those elbows. Let the head hang. Keep pressing into the left foot. Maybe walk the hands a little, even around a little bit more, just to find that stretch on the left side. And then walk your way back. Curl the back toes, lift the back knee, float to your plank as you inhale, lower through your chaturanga as you exhale. Inhale lifts you up. Exhale rolls you back. 5 breaths here. Just breathe. Softening into the areas that need it. Practicing that tenderness. As we practice it here, we're able to share it with others. We're able to utilize it off the mat. So it's a really amazing thing we get to do every time you step on our mat. It's not just a workout. We're growing as people, spiritually, emotionally. We're learning about ourselves. It's really powerful. Inhale, high on the toes, exhale, bend the knees, hop, step, float the feet up to the hands. Inhale, we'll find our flat back. Exhale, we're gonna forward fold. Inhale, sit into your chair, Utkatasana, so just the breath here, inhale. Exhale, we'll forward fold again. Inhale, we're gonna lengthen here. Exhale takes us through our vinyasa. Skip it if you want. Of course, always an option to skip. As we meet in downward dog, lift the right leg up. Inhale. Exhale, knee is going to come to the nose. Step the foot in between your hands. Drop your back knee. Inhale, arms are going to reach up to the sky. Exhale, hands are going to twist. So left elbow outside, right knee, look up. This time we're going to curl the back toes under, lift that back knee. So squeeze through your left buttocks as you do. Good. And then as you exhale, look down over your front foot. As you inhale, we're going to open to warrior 2. So as you windmill open the arms, you're going to ground that back foot down like we did in that twist. Remember when we brought the hand down? So you ground through that back foot, or sorry, not twist, side bend. Right forearm's going to come to right thigh. Left arm's going to reach up. And if you want to, over the ear. So lots of length happening in the side bodies today. The right and the left. Again, think about the tenderness you want to give your neck. So maybe looking down feels a little softer today. If your neck doesn't bother you, you want to look up, go for it. Bend into the right knee, press into the outer edge of the back foot, navel to spine. So sometimes that strength is tenderness, right? We're supporting the body as we ground into the legs. Exhale, set the left hand down, right hand down, come to your plank as you inhale. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, high cobra. Exhale brings you back downward dog. Second side, so left leg's gonna lift, inhale. Bend the knee, round it to the nose, step the foot in between your hands, drop your back knee as you exhale. Inhale, we're gonna float the arms all the way up. Exhale, we're gonna twist. Good, navel to spine. Inner thighs are both rolling in towards your midline. And then let's curl the back toes under and lift the back knee. And breathe. Good. Getting a little deeper, but always cultivating that tenderness along the way. As you exhale, look down. And then as you inhale, we'll plant the back foot down as we windmill it open to warrior 2. Changing my position here. Good. So really the yin and the yang here. So there's the strength in the legs. We're pressing to the outer edge of the back foot, bending into this left knee, and then a lift through the arms. 2 more breaths here. Warrior 2. And then left forearm to left thigh, right arm up. You decide from here. What is going to cultivate compassion in your body today? Arm can stay up, it can float over the ear. Gaze can go down or it can go up. Belly always draws in towards the spine, rolling your side body up. Even if you're looking down, you can still roll up through that right side body. And as you exhale, windmill the hands down. As you inhale, step back to your plank. Move through your chaturanga. Inhale, high cobra. Exhale, we'll meet in a downward dog. Okay. So we're going to plant the left foot and step the right foot forward. Come into your warrior one. So arms are going to reach up, but then we're going to bring the hands back to the heart. So just stack one palm on top of the other in your warrior one. Belly draws in. Just 2 breaths here. That touch, that tenderness, that self-compassion, this alchemy of compassion that we are cultivating here. Just sit with that. And then hook your thumbs and draw your arms all the way up to the sky. That's an inhale. As you exhale, we're going to hinge forward. Maybe lift your left leg up. So come into a warrior 3. Arms are reaching forward, thumbs are hooked, shoulders are soft. Flex the left foot so it's facing down. Roll your lifted inner thigh towards your standing one. One more breath here. Open it out, warrior 2. Back to side angle again. So right forearm down, this time left arm up. Let's see if we can wrap the left arm around. Maybe find the inner thigh of the front leg, or work into your full bind if you'd like. So drop the right arm underneath, interlace the hands. Again, approach this with tenderness, right? With compassion. So maybe the neck down today or the gaze down works for you. Maybe up. Just lift that left shoulder either way. Look for the outer edge of the back foot, bend into the front foot, all or knee, all of this together. 2 more breaths here. As you exhale, look down, we're gonna unhook the bind. We're gonna reach the arms out to the side as we come forward. If anybody wants to try to lift off that back heel, go for it. Right, 2 more breaths here. Hands come down, we'll meet in a downward dog. So if you want to skip your vinyasa, please go for it. Skip away. Okay, second side. So plant the right foot, step your left foot forward, warrior 1. So bend into the knee, reach the arms up. That's our start. Checking everything out, softening, being tender where we need to. Hands come to the heart. Try the alternate cross of the hands. Just that touch. Imagine it's going to a place of pain, either in your body or in your psyche. Just that tenderness of your own touch to your heart. Let's hook the thumbs the opposite way. Float them up as you inhale. Exhale, hinge forward. We're going to maybe lift into warrior 3. Flex the right leg, foot rather. Roll your right inner thigh towards your left inner thigh. Reach through the arms. 2 more breaths here. And then windmill it open, warrior 2. Left forearm comes to left thigh. Right arm is up. Maybe we want to wrap this time. So it's the half bind option. Or dropping your left arm inside the thigh, seeing if the hands meet each other. But once they do, that's where you get to touch a little bit deeper into your alchemy of compassion, because maybe today you need to back off the knee a little bit, or you need to keep the gaze down, even while you're opening the right shoulder up. Good. Breathe here. Don't forget about that. That's the most compassionate thing you can do for yourself right now is mindful breath. It helps us stay present here, helps us surrender a little bit. As you exhale, look down. Maybe if you're bound or even if you're not, you're going to try to reach the arms out like airplane wings. And then the last piece, if you want to try, is to lift off that back heel. 2 more breaths. And set the hands down. We're going to flow either through a vinyasa or not. We'll meet together in our downward dog. So just take 5 breaths here. That might be child's pose for you. If you'd like. Good. For those of you guys moving through your vinyasa, all good. 2 more breaths here. Whatever version of this you'd like. Good. Okay, so we're meeting back in downward dog. Ground the left foot, step the right foot forward. Warrior 1, inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands are coming to the heart. Inhale, you're hooking the thumbs, sweep the arms up. Exhale, come through to your warrior 3. This time we're floating into half moon. So interlace the hands, float the right hand down. Left hand can stay on the hip or reach up to the sky. Float that left leg up. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. This is an opening pose, right? As we start to connect to that alchemy of compassion in ourselves, we can begin to share it. We can begin to send it out into the world. It's a really powerful thing. Exhale, left hand's gonna come down. Let's close off that left hip. Finding your standing split. Breathe here. Up to you if you feel like playing in any kind of handstand hopping here. We're gonna meet in our triangle forward bend. So feel free to go right there. Anybody feels like playing with their hips, go for it. Just a couple breaths here. I'm worried about spilling my water. Good, so we're meeting in that triangle forward bend. Leaning over the right leg, rounding into the back heel, and breathe here. Sometimes we're at our most vulnerable when we're still, in a place where we're feeling extreme tightness. We start to question why? Why is this happening? What's wrong with me? And that's where the tenderness needs to come in. I am enough, right? I am that I am, so hum. Step your right foot back to meet your left in a downward dog. We're gonna go right to the next side. So plant the right foot and step the left foot forward. Warrior 1, inhale the arms up. Exhale, opposite stack of the hands to the heart, just moment of tenderness here. Opposite thumbs hook, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, float forward through your warrior 3. Flexing the foot, reaching the arms forward. We're drawing ourselves into that second side of Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So left hand begins to float towards the floor. Right arm begins to reach up, gaze up, lift that right leg up. Breathing here. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. It's this open, expressive pose. 2 more breaths here. Good, hands come down, we're finding our standing split again. Head's working towards the head, hands can work towards the foot. Remember, we're meeting in that forward bend, that triangle forward bend. But anybody want If you want to play with your handstand hops, now would be the time, right? Second side. Just playtime, an opportunity to be tender. We'll meet in that forward bend. And let's step right back to downward dog now. So step the left foot back again, come into your downward dog. Let's roll forward through our plank. So inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, rolls you back, downward dog. Right leg is gonna lift nice and high. As you exhale, bend the knee, draw it to the nose, step the foot in between your hands, drop your back knee, flatten the foot. As you inhale, reach the arms all the way up. As you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. We're gonna twist, left elbow outside, right knee. So options here, sorry, I should be facing this way. For your bind here. So we're just going a little deeper, but we're exploring it in this from this place of tenderness. So if you want to separate the arms, go ahead. If you feel like playing or seeing if there's a full bind available, all good. See if there is. Gaze up to the sky. Either way, we're going to curl the back toes under and lift the back knee. So wherever you are here, it's enough. So soham means I am that, right? The Sanskrit phrase, I am that. And sometimes we just need to remind ourselves of that as we cultivate this alchemy of compassion. So whichever version of this you're in, this left leg is going to step up to the right foot, okay? And this right leg is going to lift. So you don't have to do it in a bind. You can always just bring the left hand to the outside of the right knee and twist that way. 2 more breaths here. Gaze forward, release the spine if you're in it. Float the right leg back. It's warrior 1. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands are gonna come to the heart. Inhale, hook your thumbs, reach the arms all the way up. Good. This time as you exhale, interlace the hands behind your back, roll the shoulder blades together, look up. And then exhale, we're gonna fold. Humble warrior. Letting the head go, letting this left shoulder maybe float inside the knee. Just surrendering here. Hands are gonna float to the floor. First, we're gonna walk them as far away from that foot as we can. So looking for all this space. What do I need to let go of? What am I holding onto that is blocking me from my compassion for myself, right? Is it judgment? Is it inadequacy? What is it? We'll walk back here. So one more time, we have this opportunity to bring the left, let me flip it, to bring the left shoulder underneath the knee, and you have options here. So option 1 is to stay right here. Option 2 might be to try that airplane or come into a bind and try to come back into bound parzo. Third option for anybody who might want to play is we're putting kind of all the pieces together. So we're grounding into this right leg just like we've been playing with. We're resting the left leg on this left arm and maybe grabbing the foot coming into that pose that I can't remember the name of. Here we are. Whew. And we're gonna meet in downward dog from here. So I'm going right to downward dog. You guys can do what you want. Breathe. Couple breaths before we switch and go to that last side. Okay, left leg's gonna lift, inhale. Exhale, knee is gonna come to the nose, drop forward, step the foot in between your hands, drop your back knee. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. We're gonna twist. Right elbow outside left knee. So here's where we get to unwrap this a little bit more, go a little deeper if we want. Hands might separate, top arm might wrap, bottom arm might wrap, okay? From here, back knee is gonna lift, gazing up over that shoulder if you can, if it's available. Couple more breaths here. Oh hum, I am not, I am enough. Right. Alchemy of compassion. Okay, so whatever version of this you're in, this left foot's gonna step up and join the right foot. So bring the left foot up and then lift the right knee. So maybe you're not in a bind. Maybe the right hand is over the left knee. Gaze over the back shoulder. You decide. And the gaze forward, unhook all that. Step your way back into warrior one. Arms reach up, hands to the heart, stack them the opposite way. Inhale, hook your thumbs, opposite way, float those arms all the way up. Exhale and release the hands behind your back, opposite way. Exhale, come forward, humble warrior. So stay here, right? It's like you're bowing to yourself, to your own compassion, to the tenderness that you're showing in yourself right now. Just bow to that. Be grateful for that. Let's release the hands down, walk them as far away from that right foot as you can. Reaching through the arms, bending into that right knee, just stretching all out through this right side. From the shoulder all the way into the hip. And then walk your hands back. So we're ready. You know what the options are. You decide what works for you. So option one, just bring the right shoulder underneath the right knee, hand to the outside of the foot. Option two might be airplane or finding a bind. Option three might be grounding into this left leg, floating the right foot up, grabbing the foot, pressing into the left foot as you straighten the right leg. Good, release all that out. Guess what? We're gonna go right into pigeon from here. So lift off your back heel, drop your back knee, walk your right foot across towards your left. And fold here. And just soften into the restriction. Right? Whether it's physical or spiritual or emotional, the things that we hold on to, the stories we tell ourselves, that we're not enough, those not only prevent us from being compassionate with ourselves, but they prevent us from being compassionate with others. So this poem is called The Unbroken. There is a brokenness out of which comes the unbroken, a shatteredness out of which blooms the unshatterable. There is a sorrow beyond all grief which leads to joy, and a fragility out of whose depths emerged strength. There is a hollow space too vast for words, through which we pass with each loss, out of whose darkness we are sanctioned into being. There is a cry deeper than all sound, whose serrated edges cut the heart as we break open to the place inside that is unbreakable and whole. Let's slowly make our way back to downward dog. You can wiggle out that right hip a couple times, just shake it out. And then set that right foot down, left leg's gonna lift. Left knee comes behind your left wrist, ankle comes behind your right wrist, flatten the back foot down. Here we go, second side pigeon. Remember that our practice is to touch the place of vulnerability, to really feel that pain, that ouch. That's the hurting inside of us. And then in that feeling, there's a natural tenderness that occurs. And we can act from that tenderness by exuding compassion. And then that feeling of suffering and acting actually allows us to extend and offer compassion to others. Really is a powerful practice. Let's make our way back to downward dog. Shake out the left leg. And we're gonna make our way through to seated, but then quite quickly onto our back. So come onto your back. Plant the feet, knees down. We're gonna do one final back bend. So think about whether you want that to be bridge, if you want that to be Urdhva Dhanurasana, bring your hands by your ears, press up to your head and lift the hips up. Moving into whatever final back bend is going to be of service to you today. If you're working into Urdhva, make sure your feet are parallel and press up. And then slowly, tenderly lower down. Look for that block or whatever prop you use at the beginning of class. Slide it underneath your buttocks or in your lower back. Lift your legs up to the sky. Coming into your supported shoulder stand once again. Hands are going to come to the heart. Bathe yourself in this tenderness. This tenderness you cultivated through the alchemy of compassion. And know that once you have worked in that space, you have compassion to share with others. Bring yourself back to who you dedicated your practice to today, somebody who is struggling beyond measure. And just take a moment here to share that compassion with them. And then begin to take yourself out of your supported shoulder stand. So bend the knees, lower the feet down, lift the hips, remove the block or the prop from underneath you. Let's bring the knees back into the chest. Just give yourself one last very well-deserving hug, circling it around with the hips, circling to the right, and then maybe back to the left. And we're going to find our way into our final twist. So let's float both knees over to the right. Arms coming to T, head to the left, any version of a spinal twist you want. You can eagle the legs. You can straighten the left leg and the right. Whatever you feel like. This feels good for me, so I'm going to stay here right now. Maybe some deep breaths into a place in your body that you still feel needs some tenderness. And then draw your knees back to center. Let's float over to the other side. Whatever you did on the first side, go ahead and explore that on this side. And then make your way back to center. Lower your legs down to the floor, arms down by your side, or if you want to bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly, or two hands to your heart, feel free to do that. In this final few moments of meditation, where can you offer yourself the most tenderness? Set up that way. And bask in that gift you've given yourself on your mat today. Now you begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And reach your arms all the way over your head and just stretch. From your fingers to your toes. And then draw your knees into your chest. And slowly make your way onto your right side. Take a moment for compassion, for tenderness, and then make your way up to a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands to your heart. Close your eyes. I thank you so, so much for allowing me to be your guide this morning, or this afternoon, actually. And I hope you extend your compassion that you've extended to me during this practice to yourself as well. Namaste.